My husband of 5 years asked for a threesome with my best friend, and she agreed. I originally posted this in Truth Off My Chest, but it deleted it and my update, so I'm posting everything here, including my most recent update, but I'm certain more is going to happen, as this situation is incredibly fresh. I, 26F, met my husband, 35M, 7 years ago, and we have been married for 5 of those years. I love my husband and all that he has done for me, but I fear that my marriage and my relationship with my best friend is now over. Not to mention, I just found I'm pregnant, and this only started happening after I told my husband he was very much on board with having a child with me, and we have been trying for around 6 months. For context, my best friend 28F, let's call her Mia, knew my husband before me, and they were incredibly close before I even knew him. When I first met my husband, I suspected there was something going on between them, but they always denied it. However, they admitted while they were drunk that they were indeed sleeping together before I got with my husband. Even though it's not important now, it still plays on my mind, you know? Especially considering what just happened. Anyways, 2 weeks ago, my husband suggested a threesome for the first time, and I was already not on board with it. I quickly said no and hoped he'd never bring it up again. 2 days after that, he suggested it again, and I once again declined. He asked again that night after we had sex, and once again, I said no. After that, he stopped asking, and I thought that was the end of it. However, 3 days ago, he asked me out to lunch, and I was pretty excited considering he never takes me on dates anymore. When we got to the restaurant, my best friend was sitting there and was confused because he never mentioned that she'd be there. The vibe was weird from the start, Tabasha, but I tried to think nothing of it. Halfway through the lunch, my husband asked me again. I want to consider the idea of a threesome again, and I thought it would be a good idea if Mia was involved. I didn't know what to say. I asked if Mia knew about this, and she said yes, and that she'd known about his plans for over a month. I was devastated. I said no, paid for my meal, and left with my car. I feel so betrayed and hurt right now, I have no words. This man is meant to be the father of my child, but I can't look at him. I've been staying with my mom, and he's been phoning me and calling me dramatically, and that he'll just drop it. Mia has been spamming me too, saying the same thing. I don't know what to do. Edit 1. I've seen lots of people tell me to abort my child. I'm so incredibly torn on this, as my mother would be so upset if I aborted her grandchild. She was so happy to see my sister give birth, and I want to provide her that happiness again. On the other hand, I don't want to look at my child with the knowledge that it is his. Not to mention that he could possibly want some sort of visitation rights to my child. I've also seen people saying that Mia may be pregnant with his child too, and the threesome would be an excuse as to how she got pregnant. I feel it could be a stretch, but I'm probably going to arrange a talk with both of them later today. It's 8 a.m. as I type this. I'll let everyone know what happens. In the comments, Mia was my closest friend for ages. I have a few old friends from high school, but after I met him, our relationship moved pretty fast, and we moved in together, not long after dating, so I was busy with taking care of our home. My father isn't here anymore, and my grandma is in a nursing home. My sister recently gave birth, so the only person I really can stay with is my mother. I genuinely don't know if I could let him hold our child, or even look at him the same way. Thinking about it now, I truly think he and Mia have been seeing each other for a good portion of our marriage. I really don't know if he can come back from this. I'm so afraid of getting an abortion. It's not like I don't want my baby. I just wish this didn't happen. I also am not even sure if I'm allowed to get an abortion. I know some places have time limits and stuff, right? I've seen a few people comment about our age difference, and now that our relationship is on the line, I'm seeing how dependent I am on him, and it's scaring me to buy. Even though I've had some great memories with him, I really wish he and I had just never met. About having the baby to please her mother. What is this nonsense? This is about you, not your mother, or your sister, or even your husband. This is about you. You will have to carry this child to term, look after it, watch it grow up, share custody with this asshole, have to co-parent with it. Your mother won't. Stop doing something so profoundly central to your life for someone else. Have it, don't have it, but for F's sake, don't have it because it will please other people. OP, I think you might be right. I genuinely don't know if I could raise this child knowing it's his. Update. They both agreed to arrange a talk with me this morning, and I'm not even that shocked, but I still can't stop crying. When I arrived, they were sitting so close to each other, it genuinely made me feel so sick. They didn't seem upset at all. They were just talking like normal and even smiling, which is so gross to me, seeing as they both know how upset I am right now. Anyways, when I sat down, I flat out asked them if they had been seeing each other behind my back, and everything I've been suspecting these past 3 days was confirmed. They had been sleeping with each other. I am so heartbroken right now. I don't think I can carry this child. These past few days have felt so unreal, and I'm a wreck. I know that it's early to decide this, but I do think abortion is the correct decision for me. I also asked him why he decided to tell me now and not earlier, or when I wasn't carrying his child, and he literally just shrugged and shook his head and then said, "I don't know," as if that was a good enough answer. Mia was mostly quiet the whole time, but I don't think she feels the slightest bit of guilt. To everyone saying divorce, that is most likely what will happen. I'm terrified as I've known him for most of my adult life, and he is the only man I've ever been with. He is in control of our bills, our rent, and overall finances. I literally have no idea what I'm doing. Edit 3 time is literally a blur right now. I'm receiving messages from pro-lifers, and it's getting to me even though I know I can't have this child. My mother-in-law has also started spamming me too. I blocked my husband's number, and I did the same with Mia. His mother won't stop messaging me. I blocked her number, but she then went out of her way to message me on Instagram and Facebook. She keeps saying I should have just done the threesome to make her boy happy. It's effing weird. Sorry if my replies to comments aren't frequent. I'm dealing with so much depression and anxiety right now, and I'm also struggling with the fact that aborting this child is the best thing for it. Thank you for all the support. In the comments, after the talk I had with both of them, I'm deciding that abortion is the best option for me. I feel awful for our child. I didn't mention the abortion. I felt it wasn't the right time to mention the divorce, as I'm sure he already knows that it's most likely what's going to happen, and I didn't want to mention the legal side of things in front of Mia.